The Claude Code leak suggests that Anthropic is working on a proactive mode for its coding tool. The AI documentary's director was scared by AI, so he made a movie about it. And what's going on with Donut Lab? It's Thursday, April 2nd, and here's a quick look at tech news this morning from Engadget. Well, what should have been a routine release has revealed some of the features Anthropic has been working on for Claude Code, as reported by Ars Technica, The Verge, and others after the company released Claude Code's 2.1.88 update on Tuesday. Users found it contained a file that exposed the app's source code. Before Anthropic took action to plug the leak, the codebase was uploaded to a public GitHub repository, where it was subsequently copied more than 50,000 times. All told, the entire internet and Anthropic's competitors got a chance to examine more than 512,000 lines of code and 2,000 TypeScript files. In the aftermath, some people claim to have found evidence of upcoming features Anthropic is working to develop. Over on X, Alex Finn, the founder of AI startup Creator Buddy, says he found a flag for a feature called Proactive Mode that will see Claude Code work even when the user has not prompted it to do something. Finn claims he also found evidence of a crypto-based payment system that could potentially allow AI agents to make autonomous payments. In a Reddit post spotted by The Verge, another person found evidence that Anthropic might have been working on a Tamagotchi-like virtual companion that reacts to your coding as a kind of April Fool's joke. An Anthropic spokesperson told Bleeping Computer that a Claude Code release included some internal source code. No sensitive customer data or credentials were involved or exposed. This was a release packaging issue caused by human error, not a security breach. We are rolling out measures to prevent this from happening again. As with any other leak, it is worth remembering plans can and often do change. Just because a company has written the code to support a feature does not mean it will eventually ship said feature. If you happen to be feeling anxious about AI and what it means for the future of humanity, well, you should watch the AI doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. The film aims to deliver some clarity amid all the hype. Now that it's in theaters, Engadget sat down with director Daniel Roher, who won an Oscar for his film Navalny, to dive deeper into his complicated feelings around AI. He said that the entire topic made him nervous, so he decided to team up with similarly anxious colleagues to demystify AI using film. He described the goal of the project to be a sort of first date with AI, a way to hear about its potential benefits from AI boosters while also taking in the many negatives brought up by critics. It's probably too late to stop AI entirely, but he thinks we can at least try to find ways to limit the worst impulses of the tech industry. He said, "I wanted to make this movie because I was scared shitless. That's the crux of it. I didn't understand what AI was. I didn't understand why everyone was talking about it and why it seemed to be this thing that came out of the woodwork. And all of a sudden, people were talking about it like it was the apocalypse or like it was going to be the most optimistic, greatest thing ever." Ultimately, he arrived at the term apocalyptimist, which balances the contradictory ideas that AI can both seriously harm society and that we can still shape the future by criticizing or outright rejecting it. He said, "It's a worldview. It's choosing not to buy into a binary that's asking us to see this as either apocalypse and the end of the world or through the rose-colored glasses of unvarnished optimism, which is also sort of a fallacy." Notably, the entire goal is to think more deeply about the uses of technology than the people actually creating it. Rohr said, "These guys, when you actually sit down with them, they don't have clarity. They can't make you feel better. They don't know themselves. They're just motivated by the unbridled optimism of the greatest profit-making technology in the history of humanity." Well, back in January, a Finnish-Estonian startup proclaimed it had developed a truly solid-state battery, a holy grail for the technology industry. The company, Donut Labs, said its cell was not just solid state. It claimed it was made from cheap and easily available materials, would charge to full in a few minutes, and last for hundreds of years. If real, such a device would change the face of the world, which is why plenty of people don't think it is. And as the company makes more effort to demonstrate it is telling the truth, the more holes people are finding to poke their fingers into. So, what is going on with Donut Lab's battery? Well, at CES 2026, Donut Lab announced it had built the world's first full all-solid-state battery. It said this was not just a prototype, but was ready to power up production vehicles now. According to the company, there was nothing but upside, with none of the trade-offs its competitors had been forced to make while developing their own solid-state batteries. And it was ready to be incorporated into EVs starting today. But people started becoming suspicious, with one Chinese battery company CEO saying any person with even a basic understanding of the technology would think it's a scam. Even to a non-expert, there's clearly a gap between what Donut promised and what its tests are showing. Now, there's a whole lot more to this article written by Engadget senior editor Daniel Roher with intensive investigation, and you can check it out at Engadget.com. Thanks for listening. There's more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Igor Bonifasic, Devendra Hardawar, and Daniel Roher. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.